Good morning, friends. Welcome to the daily morning podcast of SBI Securities. Let us check what happened in the US market yesterday. Yesterday, US market ended on a negative note with Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and S&P 500 down to the tune of 0.2%, 0.9%, and 0.6% respectively. The key highlight of the yesterday's trade in US was Nvidia. So Nvidia, which is up close to 220% in the last 1 year, was down 4% ahead of its results. So today evening, Nvidia will be declaring its quarterly number, and we have seen profit booking ahead of the numbers due to the sky high valuation. At the same time, we have seen a very good set of numbers from Walmart. Walmart has beat the quarterly earning, and at the same time, Walmart has went on record to say that they will acquire TV maker Vizio for $2.3 billion, and hence we have seen Walmart up to the tune of 3%, whereas Vizio was up by 16% in the trade yesterday. Another big deal was announced in the financial market in the US. So Capital One Financial Services agreed to purchase Discover Financial Services in an all-stock deal worth $35 billion, and this deal is expected to close in late 2024 or early 2025. So we have seen Discover up to the tune of 13%, whereas Capital One has ended on a flatter note. Moving on to the key parameter which we track on a daily basis. So 10-year bond yield is stable at around 4.29%. Brent crude is again stable at $82.5 to the barrel. Dollar index is at 104.1, again very stable number. The key event to track tonight will be the release of FOMC minutes. So if you remember, 31st Jan was the day when last Fed meeting has happened, and the minutes of that meeting will be released for the public. And I don't think so any major outcome will be seen from that minute. But one thing is pretty clear, that Street is now discounting that the rate cut earlier, which was expected in the month of March 2024, has been pushed back to the June 2024 because of the robust economic data which is coming from the US economy, and at the same time the latest print on inflation seems to be hotter than expected. So I don't think so any big impact will be seen from this FOMC minutes outcome, and it will be kind of neutral event as far as market is concerned. Moving on to the Indian market. So domestic market yesterday started on a flatter note, and during the day Nifty gained positive momentum and maintained a positive bias throughout the day, ultimately settling with a 0.34% gain. Nifty midcap 100 was relatively weaker as compared to Nifty 50 index, and have settled on a negative note with a loss of 0.13%. Among the key standout sector yesterday, BFSI was the sector which was an outperformer. At the same time, auto and IT were the underperformer in the trade yesterday. Moving on to the basically fund flow. So what happened on the fund flow perspective? So yesterday we have seen foreign institutional investor offloading shares worth 1335 crore approximately, whereas DII were net buyer to the tune of almost 1500 crore in the trade yesterday. Moving on to the market breadth. So yesterday market breadth was marginally in favor of bears. So we have seen 1967 stocks on Bombay Stock Exchange ending in a red, whereas 1876 stocks have closed in green in the trade yesterday. Almost 338 stocks have scaled 52-week high during the trade yesterday. And let us check among the BSE 500 which are the stocks which have scaled 52-week high in the trade yesterday. So among the BSE 500, Z Entertainment up by 8%, scaled 52-week high number. Sorry, my apologies. So basically, so among the BSE 500, the stock which has created 52-week high is Alembic Pharma up by 4%, Archean Chemical, HFCL, Himachal Futuristic, Zomato, Aarti Industries, Jindal Saw, NTPC, Oil India, Apollo Hospital, Phoenix Mill, Jindal Stainless, Grasim, Indian Hotel, Blue Star, Supreme Petro, Voltas, ONGC, Chalet Hotel, Thermax, Mindacorp, Bosch, Crisil, Sanofi India, Dr. Reddy's Lab, Dixon, EIH, Cummins India, Zydus Life, Cipla, GMR Airport, Sonata, and KIOCL. So these are the few stocks which have scaled 52-week high among the BSE 500, and there seems to be a positive momentum in all these stocks. So there were no, there was the list of 52-week low in BSE 500 is empty. So it seems that market is still in a bullish mode. Moving on to the key news which we need to focus in the today's trade. First is on Z Entertainment. So yesterday post market closing, Z Entertainment has clarified that they are not in discussion with Sony to revive the merger. So to that extent, we may see negative reaction in the trade in the Z Entertainment today. Yesterday's stock was up 8%, and again it will come under pressure in the trade today. Hindalco, its American subsidiary Novelis has filed for an IPO offering in the US market, and that's a positive development as far as Hindalco is concerned. If you remember, a few days back, post the December quarter earning, the stock has corrected heavily by 10 to 15% due to increase in project cost, wherein the company is setting up a new plant in US. The project cost has gone up by more than 50%, and that led to the major correction. At the same time, the plant commissioning date has been delayed, and that led to the correction. I believe that this IPO offering can deleverage balance sheet of Hindalco, and that augurs well for Hindalco from a medium to long term perspective. So in the today's trade, we may see positive reaction as far as Hindalco is concerned. Swan Energy, the company has launched QIP yesterday evening at floor price of ₹703, and it's a 4,000 crore rupees QIP. 3,000 crore is the base size, and 1,000 crore is an green shoe option. So I think again the Swan Energy is mobilizing this money to repay its debt and for modernizing the recently acquired Reliance Naval shipping facility. So that augurs well for Swan Energy from a long-term perspective. Union Bank of India, again the bank has launched an QIP worth 3,000 crore rupees at a floor price of 142.7. We need to see which are the investors which are participating in this QIP. In case there is a lot of interest from marquee funds like mutual funds, insurance, and all the long only funds, then from a short to medium term perspective, we can expect a positive reaction in a Union Bank of India. Devyani International, where Yum International held 4.4% stake. So that the Yum restaurant is exiting the company, lock, stock and barrel in the today's wires block deal. Anyway, the entire QSR sector is under pressure, but relatively Devyani is doing well. I think post this block deal, we may see some 10 to 15% up move in a medium term as far as Devyani International is concerned. Moving on to the Ashok Leyland. So Ashok Leyland has announced that they will set up a new manufacturing facility in Uttar Pradesh for manufacturing electric vehicle, electric buses, and the investment will be to the tune of 500 to 1,000 crore. So that augurs well for Ashok Leyland from a medium to long term perspective. NTPC has announced that their unit NTPC Green Energy has signed an agreement with Andhra Pradesh government to develop an green hydrogen hub in Visakhapatnam, which includes the construction of production facility for 1,200 tons per day. So that's positive for NTPC from a long-term perspective. Moving on to the smaller company, which is the Bondada Engineering. The company has received a work order worth 5 crore rupees from Sundrop Energia to supply equipment for solar power plant. So that's positive for Bondada Engineering. Varun Beverages, they have entered into an exclusive snack appointment agreement to manufacture and package Cheetos in Morocco, and the production from the company's own manufacturing facility is likely to commence from 1st May 2025, and the capex will be the tune of 100 crore. So that's totally a new business venture as far as Varun Beverages is concerned. So they were they are the bottler of Pepsi for beverages, and right now with foray into the food manufacturing and packaging, I think that's the new line of business for Varun Beverages. Let's see how this new business scale up for the company, but definitely it's positive for the company from a medium to long term perspective. Moving on to the IPO. So today Juniper Hotel will be opening its IPO window. The price band has been set at 342 rupees to 360 rupees. And the company belongs to the Saraf Group, which is again one of the leading hotelier in India, and Hyatt. So basically, all the Hyatt properties are owned by the Juniper Hotel. The company is mobilizing fund to repay its debt, and what I believe is that looking at the current valuation, the listing gain is unlikely in this company. However, if somebody is really a long term investor, when I say long term investor, I expect this company to turn profitable by the end of FY25, and hence it need a lot of patience. So if somebody is looking for listing gain, then one should avoid the Juniper Hotel IPO. But if somebody is looking for to add a quality hotel business in the portfolio from a long term perspective, he can add some quantity through IPO, and post listing then monitor the company's result and keep on adding position in a long term portfolio. So this IPO is not for somebody looking for a listing gain. Moving on to the bulk deal section, bulk and block deal section. So yesterday we have seen Iriska Investment Fund, they have sold 23.5 lakh share in Jindal SAW, and that has been lapped up by marquee funds like Nippon India Mutual Fund, Samco Mutual Fund. We are also bullish on Jindal SAW as an investment idea, and we continue to remain positive on the company. Whirlpool India, so yesterday we have seen the international multinational player Whirlpool parent company have exited 24% stake in the company, and the entire stake has been lapped up by SBI Mutual Fund, Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Funds, Nippon India Mutual Fund, DSP Mutual Fund, Prudential Mutual Fund. I think this was a big overhang on a Whirlpool stock price. Although I know that company is not doing well on a financial front, but a big well-established brand, and with an upcoming summer season, I believe that the company is likely to perform well on a financial front, and at the same time the stock price look attractive post this deal. So if somebody is a long-term investor and want to add a quality consumer franchisee in the portfolio, then one can look at Whirlpool India also as a part of the investment idea. Moving on to the insider trade, NGL Finechem promoter Sunita Poddar have sold 20,000 shares on 19th Feb. Authum Investment and Infrastructure promoter Mentor Capital has bought 1.5 lakh shares on 19th of Feb. Coffee Day Enterprises promoter Malvika Hegde has sold 98 lakh shares on 19th of Feb. GNA Axel, there is a hand change between two promoter group. So one promoter Maninder Singh has sold 1.06 lakh share on 15th of Feb, and the same has been bought by another promoter Gurucharan Singh. So that's the hand change as far as GNA Axel is concerned. Moving on to the summary of today's market. So as we speak, Singapore GIFT Nifty, which is an early indicator of Indian stock market, is indicating that Indian markets may open gap down in the trade today, and at the same time stock specific action will continue in the market. So a lot of deals are happening in the market. Many MNCs are exiting. A lot of a news flow. So again, a news flow driven action will be seen in the market. One should stay light, don't trade on a over leverage position. Looking at an option data, it indicates that the resistance currently is at 22,600 levels as far as Nifty is concerned, whereas on downside 22,000 is the level where maximum put writing is happening, and that is a level which can be act as a support as far as markets are concerned. So overall, again today market will continue to remain range bound, may consolidate, and stock specific action may continue based on the news flow. That's all for the day. Thanks for patiently listening to us.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.